Hi everyone, my name is Chaitni and I am a mindset and nutrition coach. I help clients cope with stress, depression, or anxiety through healthy habit formation, positive lifestyle changes, and proper nutrition. Every week I drop a wellness related video, so if that's something that interests you, then please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I also send out bi-weekly self-care and self-love blogs, so you're more of a reader, then make sure to sign up for my blog. The link for that will be in the description. And lastly, you can follow me on Instagram at Imperfect Bodies by C. Modi. So this week's topic is how to strengthen your intuition. I know it seems like a slightly out there topic, but the more intuitive you become, the more you'll start to realize that it helps with your mental well-being and, as an extension, your physical well-being. Having a sharp intuition or sharp gut instincts can make a pretty big difference in how you manage stress in your life and really how you approach life in general. And pretty much every decision we make is going to be either analytical or it's going to be you following your gut or a combination of the two. And when it comes to the more reasonable side, the analytical side of you, that might require making a pros and cons list, maybe deferring to the mentors in your life or people who've been through similar situations. It might be doing research, but there are times in life when you don't have time for any of that. And you need to make a decision quickly, and you need to be able to trust your gut to make that decision. Or there are some decisions that logically just don't make sense, but if you feel it in your gut and if you feel it in your heart and it feels like the right thing to do, you should be able to follow through with it. So that's why I've put together this week's video that really talks about how you can strengthen your gut instincts. So one of the biggest ways to do that is by getting creative. And when I say creative, it doesn't necessarily mean drawing, painting, any of that. Creativity is pretty broad. So whatever makes you feel creative and makes you feel like you enjoy doing it and you get lost in doing it, it just helps you connect with yourself a little bit better. That's my definition of being creative, because a lot of times when I say creative, the response is, well, I'm not creative at all. I don't have any creativity genes. Well, you don't need that. It could be taking pictures, it could be journaling, it could be dancing, drawing, it could be the way you paint your nails or the colors that you choose to paint your nails. It could be, spending time dressing up or, choosing accessories for your outfit. So there's so many different ways to get creative. Like I said, if you get lost in it and it feels good and, it feels like it just makes you happy, then that's your definition of creativity. So get creative. That's really important because it helps you strengthen the connection you have with yourself. And when you connect with your inner self, you automatically start to sharpen your intuition and you really start to hear what you're telling yourself and what your gut is telling you to do. And it gets easier to follow through with that. Number 2 is moving. You have to get out of your head and into your body to strengthen that gut instinct. Because a lot of times, our minds are just constantly chattering. There is so much noise in our heads, and sometimes it's not always the nicest voices in our heads. So in order to get out of that and to break that and reconnect the bond with your true self, it helps to move and to get into your body. So move in a way that feels good to you. It could be running, it could be walking, jogging, it could be lifting weights, it could be dancing, going for a walk. I don't know, whatever floats your boat, but you want to try to move in a way that makes you feel good. So again, you're out of your head and you're in your body. Number 3 is reflecting. So you have to be able to reflect on yourself, your actions, your behaviors, your thoughts, and your feelings. Because the more you start to understand yourself and the more you start to understand why you do certain things, the more you strengthen that bond with your intuition. So in order to work on that and to really feel intuitive and to really follow your gut, you need to be able to introspect, because without that introspection, there is no connection. That bond has to be really tight with what's happening inside of you. And so if you don't have that bond, and if it's afraid or if it's weak, you're not necessarily going to be able to even listen to what your gut is telling you or trust your gut at all. Number 4 is something that makes many of us uncomfortable, but it's spending time with yourself. If you don't spend time with yourself, you will never discover anything about yourself. What you know is always going to be surface level. So get uncomfortable and spend some time with yourself. Do, whatever brings you joy, whether it's taking yourself out to dinner or going to the movies, or doing, any kind of solo activity, or just sitting at home and resting and understanding your thoughts and your feelings. It's really important to spend this time with yourself, to really connect with yourself and to actually understand where you're coming from. Like I said earlier, the more you start to understand yourself, the more you start to understand the why and the what and the how. And when you do that, you automatically strengthen that gut instinct and you tend to start following it and trusting in it again. And then number 5, last but not the least, is pay attention to how your body feels. So when you start to listen to your gut, or you're trying to make a decision and you decide to follow your instincts, just pay attention to what that's doing to your body. Do you feel calm and cool and collected? Feel really clear-headed and you feel good on the inside about the decision you've made? Or is it something that makes your palms really sweaty and your heartbeats quicken and it's making you feel shaky and anxious? So physically, how is your body reacting to the decision that you're making or to following your gut? And that will kind of be a nice way to evaluate whether you're headed in the right direction or not. Sometimes it could be a combination. Sometimes it could be the best possible decision that you're making, and it could still make you a little nervous, and it could still, make your heart beat a little bit faster. But on the whole, if it's making you feel good and it makes you feel really clear and feel like, no, this is the path that I want to take, and I know my body is a little scared, but my mind is on board and the rest of my body is on board, then that's something that you can follow through with. So you have to pay attention to what your body is signaling to you. So those are the 5 different ways to strengthen your intuition. I know, intuition, gut instincts, gut feelings, it's all pretty abstract, or it feels abstract, but it's like a muscle. The more you work it, the stronger it gets. So use one of these ways that I shared with you, or all of them, and start working on it, because it's another tool to help you combat stress. It's another tool that alleviates decision fatigue in your life, because you're constantly trying to decide whether it's something simple like what am I going to have for lunch, or a big decision like should I take that job or not. So no matter what, when you start to follow your gut, it just becomes another tool, and it's another way to start living your life that feels a little bit more whole and more complete. As always, thank you so much for stopping by. If you have any questions or comments, drop them and I would love to see them. Take really good care of yourself, because I will catch you here next week.